Says I'm live and recording, so let me just go ahead and make sure that it is coming through. Okay, it says I'm live. Can I hear me? Let's see. All right, it says I'm live. Great, I can hear me. Okay, hi. Thanks for joining me today. My name is Cassandra, aka the Prosperous Heart. If you like what you see today, please feel free to join me over on my webpage at prosperousheart.com. Shabam. And I share information on there when I can get it down, but I share there for marketing and programming and other things. But in the meantime, you can just simply follow me on my channels, and I'll be sharing things like this. Ooh, looks like I froze. Oh, good. Okay. Well, so let me just go ahead and kind of give you a little bit of background. So today's video is a continuation of the last couple of days. I am in the process of giving you a little bit of behind the scenes about what I'm doing in order to support the Python community. Speaking of which, if you are looking to speak at a Python conference, PyTexas 2026 is in April, and the CFP, or call for proposals, is closing in 4 days. So December 7th at, I think, 10:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you are interested, I don't know why I keep, what's the word? Freezing. So let me see if I can clear up some applications here and maybe save on some bandwidth. Sorry, I thought I did this before I got on, but it is what it is. So let's see. Oh, I needed that. Oh, is it still? Okay. Um, hopefully this will clear some up. Okay, looks like it's working now. Okay. So this website right here is the site for you to check out the upcoming conference. And at the very top, there will be a banner that says, hey, you want to submit your CFP? Go ahead and click on that and share. If you have never written in CFP before, let me know. There should be a link on the site for CFP written by Mason, who is, I believe, he's the president of PyTexas, and he's also a Python fellow, so he knows his stuff, and he's shared from his experience how he writes CFPs. So if you can't find the website, let me know. But anyway, like I said, that's coming up, and as part of that, I'm trying to build some stuff, not just for the community, but also for my students and my monthly mentorship program and things like that. So the last couple of days, I've been giving you a behind the scenes look of what I'm doing to change my Python Basics Bootcamp repo from what it currently is to something a little bit more user friendly. So I made the Python Basics Bootcamp initially when I was leading Python boot camps at Cisco, and I took that information and built this into a very, well, I hope, easy to follow process. So that way anyone, because I mean, the information is found anywhere online. But I built it in a way to hopefully make it simple for someone to be able to download Jupyter Notebook files, which unless you know what you're doing, you may not know how to do it. But as part of my bootcamp, I do share that information. So it's basically a bunch of Jupyter Notebook files that people can download and actually run the code in to play around with it and see, you know, how the things work and learn the different sections and things like that. And I've gone over all the specific details in the prior video, but I found out recently of something called mkdocs, and it has the ability, supposedly, I'm still not there yet, I'm hoping to get that done today with you. It has the ability to take that, the markdown, well, the main thing is it takes markdown files and it converts them into static web pages. So that way you can have really nice websites, just like the URL I just shared a second ago. This is written in mkdocs, but it also has the ability to create kind of like an environment so that way people can actually run the Jupyter Notebooks in the web browser without having to download anything. And I am currently in the process of trying to convert my repo to be able to support that so you can actually use it without being a part of my actual bootcamp. So that I've got to the point yesterday where I showed people how to use UV, how to convert from a regular Python repo, which uses the requirements files, into UV. I walked you through initial mkdocs setup. And as of last night, because I had some other issues, it took a little while, I had to pause. So today is the continuation of that back end portion, so we can get this to a place where you can at least see what it looks like, and I can move forward with this and actually make it nice and pretty post the call, because my calls I try to take try to make them more like a bite-sized training, but when it's something like this where it's behind the scenes and I'm not actually have like prepared materials, it can take a little longer. You might run into technical issues or whatever. So let's just go ahead and get started. So this is where we left off yesterday. As I mentioned, everything is basically set up except for now we are trying to um, build the Jupyter Notebook portion and then build the mkdocs portion so that way it can run that. And let's see where we're at. So the last thing that we were trying to accomplish was fixing something that was happening with Jupyter Lite. So was it this one? Or was it this one? Okay, so when I tried to run that command to, oh, interesting. So here's something that AI didn't catch when I asked for it to review the information, is that it looks like it's telling me to install libarchive-c for better performance when working with archives. No module named libarchive, which is interesting because all I'm doing is running UV run Jupyter Lite build and trying to build the contents from Jupyter Lite, but it failed. Now, according to Claude AI, which is what you're looking at right now, it says it was built successfully, but as you saw, it did give me some errors. So I'm not sure why it says it was built successfully if it in fact gave me errors, because it says it can't find the JSON file. And when I asked it about it, let's see, where was that? Here it is. Here's the problem. Partial or corrupted build in the docs directory from a previous attempt. It was not corrupted, it just wasn't there. It said it ran the command in the background using makefile. I don't believe that because I never gave it that confirmation. And it says the mkdocs build was completed, which it's not because that site folder doesn't exist. Oh, it does exist. Ah, maybe it did actually do it. Okay, so let's do this. In fact, I may have just last night. Where did it go? Docs, that's right. Docs, Jupyter Lite. Okay, so that's all in there. So it ran. It also ran the in the make file. So I'll just open that up for you since you may or may not have been here yesterday. In the make file, it has docs build, docs serve, and docs clean. So docs build will run that UV run Jupyter Lite. So that way, every time, if you're using the make file, every time it will take whatever changes you have in the Jupyter notebooks and build the environment for it. It will then run UV run mkdocs build, which builds the static website. And then we should be able to run docs serve. So since the stuff is there, I'm wondering if maybe we can just do UV run mkdocs build since those files are supposedly there. I mean, they're not supposedly, they are there, but I don't know if they're all there because of the error I just told you about. So yesterday, I explained that the build takes those files into what it needs to create, and the serve. Okay, so yes, it doesn't have the docs directory. Why doesn't it have the docs directory? This looks like it's actually referring to the mkdocs.yaml file. Oh, there is a docs directory right there. The docs directory should not be the parent directory of the config file. Use a child directory instead so that it is a sibling of the config file. Okay, so the reason why, for those of you who may not have been there on yesterday, the reason why this is here as a period is because I wanted to be able to access anything inside my project, but it looks like this doesn't like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this output, go back to Claude, and I'm going to say, no, I don't want it to do that. In fact, this whole thing, I believe, yeah, that was setting it up. So we're just actually going to exit Claude, or rather that particular one, and we're going to clear it or reset it so we have kind of like a fresh start. So in prior runs, you ran makefile to build the Jupyter environment and mkdocs site builds. When I tried to run uv run, was it? Yeah. mkdocs serve, I got an error. What happened and how do I resolve? Okay, so I'm going to let it run. I don't think it should take too long. You can ask the same thing of Copilot as well. I'm just using Claude, number one, because I am currently paying for it. And number two, I tend to like more of what Claude provides. Sometimes I prefer using Copilot, but that's usually because I like how it interacts with the files. Claude sometimes does it, and they do have a extension. But when I was in my specifications driven development workshop a month or so ago, it didn't give the same output as running it in the actual CLI. Okay, so this is saying that what we already knew. So it makes the docster the parent of the config file. So the config file is the file that we're reading it from, which is actually this one right here. So that makes sense. And it expects the docster to be a child directory, not the root. Okay. So site directory will be inside site docs.dir. The default site dir is .site, which is this one right here, right there, which that's where it's at. And so it could create, or it is creating a circular reference. Okay, so that makes sense. So it says we need to be changed. The configuration change needs to use docs as the docs directory, which already exists. But see, while that works, it doesn't address the other issues. So I'm going to say no. What you suggested is okay, but there are files outside of the docs folder that also need to be included. Please ensure that they are. We'll just see what that does. So from another project that I've worked on, this will likely suggest that there be like something like this, and it will say like docs, and then I don't know, week 1 or something like that, and then nothing here. So that's what I've seen before. It may give a different suggestion, but we shall see. All right, so according to this, looking at the nav structure in mkdocs channel, these files are outside the docs, which I knew. And actually, that's a folder itself, not just the file. I don't want to move them. We could use symbolic links, but I don't really want to. I think it's probably going to be number 3. We don't want to do duplicate files. Copying these directories into docs. I do not want to create duplicates. What is my other option? And if this doesn't give me a response that I'm looking for, I'll just look at my old other repo and see what I did there. Oh, okay. That is not what I remember having to do. So, oh, this is one thing I don't like about Claude. So it wants to link these things and create junctions. I don't want to do that. That seems weird. So we're going to say, no, I do not want to complicate this. Please explain what is needed to use the plugin. All right, so now it's saying mkdocs monorepo plugin, reference files outside the doc without duplicating them. We need to do UV add it to plugins, update that section. Okay, this still isn't quite what I did before, but let's go with it. No, don't like that. Let's go with the first approach. And this is going to basically do my work for me. So I'm actually not going to, well, let's just, so I am going to let it do UV add. And I covered this on my call yesterday. UV add is going to add it to the virtual environment. It is also going to update the Pi project TOML file. If it's UV add -- dev, it will add it to the dependency group dev. So these are the things that are not going into production environment, but we do want it in production. So we're just going to let it do UV add mkdocs monorepo plugin. So yep, going to let it do its thing. You will see that it automatically added it into that file. Why is this flashing? All right, cool. So it is still doing what it needs to do to bring that package in and all of its related dependencies. All right, so now it's going to edit it. So it's adding in the monorepo. Yep, we're going to add that as a plugin. You can see that it added it here, right there. It's likely going to now update the nav. Number 1, to make sure that these have the correct path. But number 2, to probably add that bang, whatever that thing was. Right, so yeah, changed it back to docs. Now, by default, it usually expects that the docs folder is going to be the folder that the make docs stuff does its thing. Obviously, you can make it a different folder. Um, I'm not sure that it really matters if you're using it for like specification driven developments type work. It just depends, I think, on your preference and the group that you're working with. Okay, so now it's wanting to do the paths. Still working on that. So it's looking at all those different things and figuring out, hey, what else does it need? All right, so you can see all the changes here. So it's wanting to change from docs index back to index. And I say back because that's what it was yesterday. Um, Updating that, adding in the short link there, making those changes. Looks good to me. Okay. Interesting. Oh. Oh my goodness. You've got to be kidding me. So I don't know what happened. This is the third day in a row that I have had technical difficulties with live streams. So if you have been on here trying to listen, thank you for your time. I guess I will be on again tomorrow trying to share this with you. And I will try to give a recap when it happens so that I don't have to take you through this whole process yet again. Um, yeah, such is technology, right? So I am going to go and I will be back tomorrow with hopefully this fixed because this is going to drive me nuts. So thank you for your time. And I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye. Oh, I see what happened. That's great. That's not great. That's frustrating. So it seems like I've used two different things. One is Meetin and one is StreamYard. And Meetin would like for whatever reason wouldn't stream my shared screen. Not StreamYard. Streamlabs apparently freaked out and changed my mic part of the way through. And now it's saying I'm not even live, even though I know I am. So refreshing this. There it is. Oh, but the audio, yeah. So now it's showing that I'm still recording and can in stream. So yay, technology. This is why it's good to have um, friends. Yes, now it shows up. Nicole. Yep, thank you. I see all your messages now. Um, it's good to have friends to say, hey, you can't hear you. So, all right, I guess I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a great night. And once again, the Buy Texas 2026 CFP or call for proposals closes on December 7th at I think 10:59 p.m. CST. And text. This is the site for the upcoming conference, and at the very top will be the link to submit your CFP. So you've got just a few more days, and look forward to seeing you again next time, hopefully with no technical issues. Okay, thanks, bye.